all right, so there's two sides to this, okay? And I'm going to speak on both extremes because that's what I do. People think, I speak on one side of the aisle, and I don't. From day one, when this thing started, I said these people are idiots. They're not, but here's the thing. They're not terrorists. They're idiots. What do idiots do? Idiots think that it's okay to take over 5 or 6 blocks and have a no police zone. Let me be very clear on this. There is not one place or business or street block in society where I want it to be a no police zone. And if there is, guess what? I ain't going there. I ain't going there. With that being said, we also need to call out some of the idiots on the right, and I'm not going to mention their names, that are saying that some of these people should go to Guantanamo Bay for the rest of their lives and lock up the key. There are people on the right that are calling these people terrorists. Terrorists behead people. Terrorists kill people. I'm not defending what they're doing, but they're not terrorists. Are they committing a crime? Yeah, they are. But they're not terrorists, and there are conspiracy theories out there that are simply not true. We just spoke to a reporter who has been there. She's spoken to these people. I don't agree with what they're doing. She doesn't agree with what they're doing. Nobody on this show agrees with what they're doing. But it doesn't mean that they are terrorists or members of Al-Qaeda or whatever you want to call them. Have some middle ground and be fair. And I'm so sick and tired of people playing politics. It's wrong. It needs to end. They don't deserve to go in jail for the rest of their lives. It's absurd.
Is it possible that a member of Al-Qaeda or ISIS could get involved in this situation on American soil?
Ridiculous hypothetical.
And the reason they changed that name from CHAZ to CHOP is because an autonomous zone, you're literally saying that you are your own country. And so if the United States wanted to, if Trump really wanted to, he could go in there and he could deport every single person in that zone from the United States.
Okay, so what was the question you asked?
Because they are their own country at that point.
What was the question you asked?
But I mean, if you watch Jack Posobiec, who we've had on the show from OAN,
who's from OAN,
yes,
the Trump
he is.
Network. Yes,
no,
zero credibility.
It's just OAN. He actually did a great job on the show. But he has a source.
He didn't really answer some of my questions.
He has a source inside CHAZ, and he is getting a lot of video. There's a video of a Christian man who came up and tried to preach. He was attacked. He was choked out.
OAN has a source,
he was kissed on the lips against his better wishes. He was dragged out. No, it's not a story. I mean, there's literally video on the internet. You can watch these videos. There was a couple of people who walked up. One of them was African American with an American flag. The flag was stolen from them when they walked up. There's been 2 people that have overdosed from drugs inside there.
What's your point?
Along with the business that I mentioned last night. No, what I'm saying is the only reason that this thing exists right now is because it is so embarrassing for the American people to see what can really take place when radical thinkers have even a modicum of power. And I love what's going on. Now, what I don't want to happen is I don't want it to spread to other cities or have another autonomous zone like in the West Precinct. Like I asked her that question right now, or last night, there was about 200 protesters that went to the West Precinct. And why would they do that? I think that they're probably going to try to create a second autonomous zone, but this time they're going to take over the police department that the city cannot take. Well, what I'm saying is I agree that they're definitely criminals. Am I saying they should be in Gitmo? No. But there should be some harsh punishments so that it does not take place again. Now what does that entail? I have no idea. And there's been another situation where someone was caught stealing, and Raz Simone, who was supposed to be the leader of this thing, chased him down and shook him down at gunpoint. So there are things taking place right now, and they are you have to look for the videos, but they do exist. It's not just a festival or a fair or a hippie situation. There's a lot, and also the entire area is basically now covered in graffiti that says BLM, F cops, things like that. So it's not a good thing to have something like this in the United States. But the fact they changed their name from CHAZ to CHOP will protect them from being literally deported.
Okay, so you said a lot of things there, and you asked me a question 3 minutes ago. Sorry, I don't understand. I don't remember what your question was, but I will respond by saying this. I'll tell you what I think is completely embarrassing. Trusting a source from OAN. I will start there. That's number one. Trusting any sources from the Trump Network is a joke. That's number one. Number two, you made a hypothetical, Al-Qaeda could show up at one of these things. Well, I suppose Bozo the Clown could show up at one of these as well. That means absolutely nothing. Hold on, if I could just finish. That is a complete hypothetical.
It's not even close to the
That
same
is a complete hypothetical.
thing, Brian.
If I could just finish. That is a complete hypothetical, and I'm not going to entertain something ridiculous like that. Or the OAN network, who also, had a source that said that the 75-year-old who was pushed and shoved to the ground was fake and that he had fake blood. So sorry, but I'm not going to take any source from OAN who goes to coronavirus press conferences and reporters who ask questions about abortion and talk about Barack Obama. Not going to listen to OAN. It's very simple here. Is it possible that, yes, there are a few bad actors? Yeah. But those are the type of people like Hannah Scott that I'm going to be talking to. Not conservative talk show hosts who call these people terrorists. I want to talk to the actual reporters. I want to talk to the actual people that were there, not biased buffoons who want to attack these people and say they belong in jail for the rest of their lives. Certainly not an OAN report or an OAN source, which I think is completely ridiculous.
With live video, Brian. Live
video of what? What are you talking about?
Of everything I just described. There's also a reporter, Andy, and there's 2 or 3 reporters out there that are posting what is actually taking place.
Okay. Again, if there's no proof to back up any of those opinions, I'm just not going to entertain them. I'm talking to reporters who are actually
I just told you the proof. The proof is the video.
Of what? What does the video show? What?
I described it. Do you want me to go through them again?
I mean, you're mentioning a couple incidents.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying these incidents.
A flag that might have been stolen.
These incidents have been caught on video, Brian. That's what I'm saying.
I have video right here from a friend of mine who lives in Seattle who filmed the video of the guy with the speaker who was preaching about Jesus and there's no chokeholds. And that's someone who was there with her cell phone.
I saw the video.
There's conflicting reports. I think is basically what we're talking about here.
I saw that video as well. There was no terrorism going on. The man, hold on.
I'm not saying that there was terrorism going on.
Okay, let me just finish. I watched that video a number of times. Okay, first of all, this guy is nuts. First of all, screaming out Jesus stuff and yelling and ranting and raving. I'm watching the video right now, and I've seen it over and over and over again. I didn't see anything in that video that would suggest the fact that anybody there is a terrorist or an extremely violent criminal to even go that far. Now, is it possible that there are a couple people there that are bad actors? Sure, that's very possible. But as you just heard from Hannah Scott, who's actually been there, you and I, we haven't been there. She's actually been there. She's a reporter, and she's saying it's very peaceful. They're gardening food, for Christ's sake, and it's more of a festival atmosphere. I've said it over and over again, and I'll say it again, and there are some people that can't take both sides of an issue and be fair. I'm trying to be fair here. They're not terrorists. They're not violent criminals. They're not killing people. They don't deserve to go to jail for the rest of their lives, and anybody who makes that assumption is a buffoon. But what I am saying
I never said that either, Brian.
What I am saying on the other side of things is that what they're doing is wrong. I don't support it. I think police need to go in there and force these people to disperse. I don't agree with the way the mayor is handling it. I don't agree with the way some others have been handling this situation. There should be no such thing in this country as a no police zone. There should be no such thing. But I'm tired of people playing politics, the Dana Loesch's of the world, the Laura Ingrams of the world, who paint these people out to be terrorists. They are idiots, and they are wrong.
There was also a number of inaccurate reports on Fox News for which they had to apologize.
Yeah, you know what Fox News did? I'm so glad you brought that up because people want to call CNN and MSNBC fake news, and the president does it all the time. But when Fox News decides to do something that is fake news, you don't hear about it from conservatives. I wonder why.
Well, over the weekend they reported on a Reddit. Reddit was their source, and it actually turned out to be a Monty Python skit. That were actually reported on.
Not only that, but Fox News.
CNN did the same thing. They used a hospital scene during COVID from 5 or 10 years ago.
I just said.
I'm sure every news organization makes mistakes like that.
And that's why we have to be very careful about who we trust. I think that's the point.
I never said that CNN doesn't make mistakes or MSNBC. Clearly they do as well. But the point I was trying to make is that no conservative will call out Fox News over the weekend for using phony footage of rioting in Minneapolis, trying to compare it to what is going on here. And they admitted they were wrong because people called them out on it. But you won't hear Donald Trump call them fake news. You won't hear any conservatives calling Fox News fake news. You have to be fair on both sides of the aisle. We don't see that in society, and I'm sick of it.